Welcome. And so today, Destiny 2 released their Vidoc for Lightfall that comes out on the 28th, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's like the 28th. But less than 2 weeks away, so obviously they're going to go over a lot of the new content added with the expansion. They're going to talk about the subclass, some weapons, the mod system. I don't know if they're going to talk about the raid. We'll keep an eye out that. Also, keep an eye out for any armor sets that could be popping up. Also, the new season that's going to launch in tandem with the expansion. And we already actually know a lot that is coming in to this expansion. So it's still good to hear from the devs. I like I like that when they send videos or like the This Week at Bungie and they do like blog posts to just kind of, I don't know, bridge the gap between developer and community and stuff like that. Cause it's just, it also helps for the hype, I suppose. But also going in blind sometimes is pretty exciting because we do know there's going to be a big expansion. Witch Queen was, I mean, it has its like shortcomings, but I still think it's a phenomenal expansion. And I played like every season since Witch Queen came out, and I had tons of fun. So I'm extremely excited for Lightfall. So let's just jump into this, and we'll pause here and there if we see some cool shit. But let's go.
The stakes are higher than they've ever been. Have we been built to defend the Traveler? Have we been built to defend humanity? The Witness is going to bring all of that to the test.
What is that?
How would we react if we were facing extinction? And how are we going to stand together to overcome this?
You know what must be done.
Dude, Callus looks sick though.
We
Even
were
if we see him for the
created
5th
this
time.
moment to deal with this conflict, to solve for this enemy.
What the hell happens when evil finally arrives and confronts the Traveler? The Traveler is threatened. The Witness is here. Callus's forces are here as well. The Pyramid fleet is here. Big shit is going down.
Lightfall should feel like you have stepped into the middle of an active war.
One of the values that we really wanted to push was making sure that you felt like the tip of the spear. You were the one who was initiating the action. You were the one who was taking control. You were the one who was attacking things. What this tone gave us the chance to do was to really surface the friendship, the camaraderie, the connections that we have to each other.
Kaido, we'll need your troops.
If the end of the universe is coming, what do we have left other than each other?
Keep the enemy away from the Traveler. At all cost.
There's a pretty big, serious threat that is happening to the solar system, so we really wanted to bring that gravity and that weight into the story.
In a major way, what we're doing right now is we're both setting up the finale for the Light and Darkness
Get that
saga.
boy some
We're
chapstick.
pulling the Witness into the
dude.
frame for the first time.
The big question has been, what does it want with the Traveler? What will happen when it finds it? And in Lightfall, it does find it.
I feel like the Witness is so drastically different from any other antagonist that we've had in Destiny in the past. You know, a lot of our Destiny antagonists are like kind of over the top and theatrical in their own way. And then we have the Witness, who's just so reserved. It's all about control with the Witness.
The Witness is here to finish what the collapse started. Now, there's Callus, always been power hungry, in it for himself. He's now signed on as one of the Witness's disciples. We're seeing Callus go through a transformation and emerge as something new.
My semblance matches my inner beauty.
Bro, look at this guy. This is sick. It's like some of these kind of remind me of the symbols you do in Valor Disciple Raid. He's also got that like really rolky hat. Is it pointy? Oh, it's flat. Okay. Dude, this is sick. Hold on.
And emerge as something new.
My semblance matches my inner beauty.
Odds are stacked against you. The Witness has arrived. We got Callus. Everything's under attack. How do we deal with this? And then you find this thread.
We knew we wanted to do another darkness power in Destiny. Are we gonna do what everyone thinks we're gonna do? Are we gonna make like poison?
I thought they were gonna do poison hard, like necrosis. I think I talked about that in like at least a video or two. I mean, they had like necrotic grips, they have the thorn, like they've all dabbled inside of like the poison era. So that's funny you said that, because yeah, I think a lot of people thought they were gonna do poison. Strand is cool though. I'm not opposed.
No. We're gonna do something that you'd only find in Destiny. We're gonna go talk about this thing called Strand, and it's the web of life.
What does it mean to have a cosmic web that's connecting everything around you? How do you actually make that like an ability? How do you make that like a power? It's something that doesn't actually exist. You can't just point to fire, electricity, or ice. Coming up with the idea of the strings, the strands lighting up the world. I think that was when everything kind of started to come together.
Strand is unlike any of the powers that we've gotten before. We didn't get it from the Traveler, we didn't get it from the Pyramids. It is a power that we find is unlocked within us as Guardians. When you pull on that thread and you start manipulating that web, ooh, you can do some really powerful things.
We have some exciting player class fantasies coming up with Strand that we're introducing. So we have the Hunter Threadrunner, which is going to introduce this threaded spike.
The Hunter Super Silk Strike, it's this kind of rope dart. You're constantly moving, constantly attacking.
It feels fluid. It has an amazing style to it. It's just something we've never seen in Destiny before.
And then there's the Titan Berserker, and the name is pretty fitting.
The Titan Super is Blade Fury, where you weave these giant blades onto your hands. You have a melee attack that you can kind of combo indefinitely, and then you have your heavy attack, which sends out these suspending waves.
Okay. So, since everybody was complaining about the Titan's Super just being like another like roaming melee, yet there is at least some sort of like long range thing. Like I always
and then,
I thought he was gonna bridge the gap a little bit better, but like, and I do feel I don't play Titan like ever really. I don't know, man. They have so much good utility as is, where like there's just a ton of really like viable options to choose as when you play as a Titan. I mean, Warlocks have their niche and Hunters have their niche. Like the Hunters, like roaming super is cool, but is it going to be useful for DPS? Probably not. I mean, I don't think so anyway. There might be some sort of like broken mechanic. I'm assuming when this does come out, it's going to be broken, because that's just what it seems like live service games do. They just like, they release new content, it's broken, and then it takes forever to patch, you know, so you want to be able to play on that broken content because you want to feel like a fucking Chad. So it makes sense. But I don't know. I feel for Titans, but it looks like they still got a pretty sick little thing going on here. And I know that they have something going on with their barricades. I don't know if they'll talk it on here. They've showed it before, but it looks sick. Also, the Warlocks looks fucking dope, though. Dude, I dabble in Warlock a lot, especially when I get my Hunter. Like, if I main Hunter, if I get him up, I'll start dabbling in Warlock. And then if I have to, I play Titan, but I prefer not to. It's just, like, let other people be Titans. There's a fuck ton of them anyway.
Then there's the Warlock Broodweaver, the mastermind of the minions that we call the Threadlings.
The Warlock Broodweaver Super is Needle.
Also, this guy right here on the right here. I swear to God, I've had a beer with this guy before. Swear, he looks just like somebody I know.
Storm. You create 3 sources of power, and then those then get launched out, and then those fly through the air. When they hit an enemy, they'll explode. When they hit the ground, they will then charge up and then turn into Threadlings.
With a hand cannon.
All the classes will have access to a grappling hook. When you select that, that takes up your grenade slot. It was a hard challenge because, like, how can you make this idea of swinging through the world equivalent to a grenade? And so designers came up with this idea of a grapple melee.
The grapple melee is incredibly powerful.
I don't know.
I grapple onto an enemy, which stuns them for a second. And then when I get there, I grapple punch.
Okay, so at least I like having grenades in this game. I think grenades are very important, and they're super good for like synergizing your build, especially if they're going with a big, more streamlined mod system, like, which I'm sure they'll talk about. But I guess that it's also good though that we have an idea now how fast we can like proc another grapple, because I thought like maybe it was going to be a class item cooldown, or yeah, or like your class ability cooldown, which you can still mess with your stats and change that, tweak that as much as you can. So at least with grenade, like you could probably put on grenade kickstart ×2, or maybe some like orbs of power mods or something like that to help get it back faster. So I guess that's good, but I still think that's weird that you don't have a grenade. Like, and when it comes to doing like Grandmaster Nightfalls or some of the like Master Legend Lost sectors, like some of those fights, like you don't want to get up in their business. Like, yeah, I guess it's like with Titan. Like, why would you want like a melee Titan in some of that in-game content is like not a good idea. Like you have limited lives. You don't want to, pop your super, die halfway through. You didn't kill what you needed to kill. Like that's a bummer. So unless I'm sure they'll add artifact mods that will make, you do a grapple melee, I guess. You could stun like unstoppables maybe. We'll see. But I just wanted to touch on that. I thought that was not having a grenade seems kind of weird, but I'd have to try it out to see how it really feels.
Blow them all up and start shooting, and then the unravel projectiles are
that
flying
SMG?
all over the place.
Oh, it's a strained SMG.
All that stuff coming together was magic for me. Oh my god, that's Destiny?
They're already making strand weapons? Stasis, it took them like a whole year to put in like more than one.
Neomuna has existed for hundreds of years. It branched off from Earth during our collapse and shut off any communication. So they've been secretly existing on Neptune for a very long time and keeping themselves safe.
It was amazing to see how the concept artist made all of this beautiful art feel really fresh and new, but also a part of the Destiny universe.
I'm gonna throw out,
I
do love
how to design Neomuna.
how
what's the
Neomuna
architecture like?
looks.
We're thinking of a lot of aerodynamic things, fins and sailboats. That informs us sort of the architectural form language that kind of looks unlike anything we've ever seen before.
The high winds, strong pressure. We have that beach area where we show the sand is made out of diamonds. The whole terrain is following up into the beginning of the city. The color, the graphic design, the vibrancy, and yeah, there's some mysteries in there.
The cool thing about Neomuna is that it's like this big neon-soaked city, but it has quite a spectrum of different environments.
I think my favorite absolutely is the Thrillodrome. It is an arcade lost sector, and I think we can relate to spending our days in a sticky arcade playing games with our buddies.
I'm also so excited for people to see the puka pond with all of the pukas that have been like such a mystery since Beyond Light.
Dude, I think they just shoehorned in that shit. Because did they have it in Beyond Light? I thought that they showed up a little bit before that. But like, because I was watching a Bife video about like Quicksilver, and they talked about like puka or whatever they are. Stupid name, by the way. I mean, I'm not mad about it or anything, but I feel like they just shoehorned in the idea, because when like the Exo Stranger or whatever a long time ago just had this like weird looking ghost thing like this, and then just didn't talk about it for all of Beyond Light. It just like never really got mentioned. And I think when we got Quicksilver in like the Witch Queen, when they put out pre-orders for Lightfall, you can get the Quicksilver early because it's a Lightfall weapon for sure. And then there's like lore in it about that. I just feel like they just shoehorned in that stuff. I just think it's super misplaced in my opinion, and unless it has some sort of like actual importance when this expansion comes out, I'm just gonna still keep with that idea.
And then on the other side of the city is Callus's ship.
See, she's like, the pukas, they're really cool. All right, here's Callus's ship. I was like, see, they don't ever fucking touch about it. They're just, can you pet it?
Imperator has landed
that looks fucking
square
sick,
in Ahimsa Park.
You see that the city is indeed kind of in shambles in parts. There's smoke, there's explosions in the air, and I just go back to the teamwork of everybody getting into a room and thinking like, what can we do to make this feel high octane, very explosive, and familiar?
This is a city that needs the Guardians' help and needs their protection, and Callus is going to do his level best to destroy it, and we're not going to let them, and neither are the Cloud Striders.
There's a lot new about LightFall. We have this new location, and it has these new personalities that come along with it. They're defenders of this city, and they have new perspectives that we really haven't seen in characters in Destiny, and that's taking the form of the Cloud Striders, Nimbus and Rohan.
I understand what's at stake, Lightbearer. Far better than you.
Rohan is the grizzled old veteran who's too old for this shit. And Nimbus is the young rookie. Nimbus is learning on the job.
Nimbus was definitely a favorite of ours to animate. They're so boisterous and fun-loving and a little smug, but super confident in their abilities.
The Cloud Striders, bottom line, are cool.
Nimbus, on your stakes!
We want the Tormentors to be the most scary unit that you've ever fought in the Destiny universe.
Holy crap, this combatant is very powerful. It means business.
It's incredibly intimidating. This thing wields a massive scythe, has command over all...
all right, let me go back up just for one
It's
second.
incredibly intimidating. This thing wields a massive scythe, has command over...
Okay, so this is what I absolutely love. And I don't know if it's for certain reasons, but so they added in with the Witness and like the Disciples, and then what they did with Rolk at the end of Witch Queen, where they added in like a new species of enemy to be fighting. Now, I don't know if I just love this because I like seeing new shit in the game, or if it's because I've been drip fed like small things throughout this game, that every small like microscopic change in difference means so much. But I love the way these guys look. I loved everything about it. Like the whole vibe of Vow to the Disciple was super cool, super cool. So I'm glad to see that there's going to be some like we've heard about these guys before from them, which yeah, this seems to just be a lot of regurgitated information. But like that these guys roam around, they pop in and out, they're fucking super scary. But I just do they look sick, and I'm excited for that. Like we've been fighting the same couple things forever, so it's cool to see something new.
Over all this void energy.
The Tormentor can like grab you, and that's something we'd never really done before with the boss.
Throws out the scythe, has the player in his hands.
And in those moments for Dark Harvest, we actually do things with audio to make it feel even more intimate, where we duck out all the background sound. So you really have this intimate moment.
The sounds in
with this
Destiny are pretty
terrifying
sick.
creature grabbing you.
Lightfall and Season of Defiance are two sides of the Destiny coin. And so on the Lightfall side, we have crazy neon cities going on an adventure far away, sort of bombastic action fantasy. On the Season of Defiance side of the coin, it's a story that's much more closer to home.
Season of Defiance is about the ground war on Earth. Callus's forces are invading, and we're defending Earth. We're freeing prisoners.
Go now.
We're trying to protect the last city, but much more directly and under much more threat than we have seen in a long time.
You're working with Petra, you're working with Devram, you're working with all these people that...
Devram? I fucking forgot about this dude. He's the dude is always sitting in the church on the EDC. I completely forgot about this guy.
you know that are close to home and that are battling for the real thing you're trying to save.
Ooh. Oh, hold up. That's a... Well, if Devram's there... Oh, yeah, this is the, like, Winding Cove. Or this is the EDZ, right? Or... Yeah. Okay.
We have
oh, man, I just thought about it. I was like, duh, of course, but they're going to add, like, new strikes. I wonder if there's going to be a new strike there. That'd be great. I'm excited for that.
and armor for players to earn, and I'm super excited to see what you've been working on.
We have a couple of strand exotics. The warlocks are getting what's called swarmers. They're these boots that will, on tangled destruction, create new threadlings at that location. Now they can either shoot it or they can pick up a tangle and throw a tangle, and then that will also create threadlings. The hunters are getting this helmet that will help them grapple through the air. As you grapple, you gain this new ability called Woven Mail, and it's reducing the incoming damage except for headshots. The Titans get...
It doesn't sound super exciting, but then again, people always find ways to make builds out of some like really niche exotic, and sometimes it's like insanely fun to use. But I'm like, man, that does sound really fucking boring though.
Boots that will augment a aspect that they have. The aspect itself will just send out a wave that will suspend enemies in front of their barricade after casting it, but the boots will split it up into 3 waves. And whenever they spend an enemy with these boots on, they also gain Woven Mail. So pushing the front line further and further by being tanky.
I have been
Oh, wait, does it protect their head too? No, it doesn't. I was gonna be like, come on, man. I know Titan means rejoice, more barricades, because that's the whole point of being a Titan, just bubbles and barricades, man.
So pushing the front line further and further by being tanky.
I have been caught by those boots a couple times in our playtest. We have this equal times
the front line further and further by
fusion.
being tanky.
I have been caught by those boots a couple times in our playtest. We have this incredibly cool heavy metal machine gun that fires according to its own rhythm, where it gets alternate effects every 4th bullet.
They've talked about
and
this
then
gun like
every
4 times.
16th bullet, it gets even more added to it.
Yeah. It like void suppresses,
So we have this
volatile.
pistol that will use advanced technology to find your enemies. And so suddenly you're not worrying about aiming, you're really worrying about surviving during the lock-on time. And it opens you up to consider your movement more than your aiming, being able to lock on to multiple guys in your field of vision and then just obliterate all of them was, I think, a moment where I kind of went, whoa.
Actually, it does look kind of sick, but I'm like, man, if you're not thinking about your movement and shooting, like, what are you doing?
We're introducing a ton of new features that are designed to make sure that the player experiences are as good as they can be.
I think one of the things we're most excited about are loadouts and what we're calling build crafting 2.0, which is the system of both, hey, let's make it.
Okay. Dude, this is so pleasant on the eyes. I didn't know they actually did the weapons too. I thought they actually just did the armor. I don't know why I was thinking that though. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, so you could, I'm assuming you could just tune all of these just from a drop-down menu. Oh, it's for a catalyst. Is this the Quicksilver? I think this Quicksilver. I need to pre-order Lightfall. I'm gonna do that like next week, but I don't have the Quicksilver yet. But I'm assuming, yeah, just drop-down catalyst. Was this like boss or major spec or something? And that's dope. These are all a bunch of new little mods that are, at least they don't look familiar to me, but that's exciting. Oh yeah, and you can have the multiple slots.
More understandable to how you make a build. And then let's allow.
Yeah, see, dude, this is way cleaner. Like, not to say like I didn't like the wheel here, which I thought that I actually liked when it went from light to dark. I thought that was pretty sick. But I wonder if the wheel still stays the same. I don't feel like it would be much worth it to do it from here. Like the subclass like marks are just fine. That's a new weapon mod for sure. Or yeah, it's a weapon perk. That's new. Definitely is strandy. Maybe it's that one that we saw where it like shoots them, kind of made more things that like swarmed back into them. So it looks like. I don't recognize this one either, but I've been kind of tapering down my playtime since I maxed up my season. So
Save that build and quickly swap between them.
When we started the process of figuring out how we are going to improve build crafting, one of the things that we knew we needed to do was make it easier to go from I have never done any build crafting to I'm really engaged in this system. When we engaged with the UI team and we said we need to improve this.
See, this is great for new players too, because build crafting, like when I first started playing Destiny, we'll say Destiny 2 though, I mean, after, like, I didn't play in the beginning, you know, when Forsaken came out, that's a different story, but build crafting was so obscure to me. I didn't really understand it. And to be honest, it took me watching like a lot of YouTube videos and things like that, and like talking with my friends about how they're trying to like synergize more. And obviously that only got better as the Light 3.0 subclasses came out over the past year. So like, I love my Void subclass, dude. He just wrecks. It's synergized, it's tuned really well, and that took a lot of time to get to that point. Like, it's not easy to understand. So if this does help people, or help even me just learn how to do it better, that's big news, especially for new players that come in. Like, I've had friends that are like, oh yeah, Andy, I know you play Destiny a lot, I want to play Destiny with you. And then they get in and there's like 18 million different things that I need to try to explain to them. And I try to, like, you know, do that little by little, because nobody wants to be told what to do in the first hour of this. You're not gonna remember any of that stuff. So like, this should be a little bit easier on the eyes for new players to be able to be like, oh, well, I got an extra slot, what should I put in? I'm like, well, what else are you doing? What do you really like your grenades? Well, let's work on trying to get you to use grenades more by, you know, slotting in these mods. This is big. I'm so happy they did this. So happy. Even my wife, dude. My wife, you know, she learned how to do her mod synergizing all by herself. Like, I mean, I think she watched a couple build videos, but still, like, like when we would switch from PvP or to PvE, she would be like, I gotta work with my mods. And I'm like, yeah, I do too, because I got like unstoppable grenade launcher on. I'm like, yeah, I need to do something about this. And she'll go and tweak her own, and like, yeah, it's a process. And the fact that you can switch between them like seamlessly, I mean, I don't know how they're gonna do the vault thing. So if you kind of like on Dim, you can save pre-made loadouts, and then you can put it into your character, and if you don't have the space, it just won't add it. So, but it'll add everything else. Like if your kinetic slot's full, it won't add in like the Quicksilver if you don't already have it on. So I'm sure that's going to change, but being able to change like that is big, dude, because like I will avoid going into PvP because I don't want to change my loadout. I'm like, I'm set up for what I want to do. I'm getting sick of doing this because I got to take, you know, 10 minutes to, you know, I need to put on unflinching, yada yada, this and that. I don't know why I have like sword reserves on. I don't know if that's a perk you should be using in PvP. I'm better at PvE builds than PvP, clearly, but this is all going to be really nice to switch over, or like maybe a raid DPS setup. Like, that's dope. I'm really excited about that.
This experience, they came back with, well, what if we did a build management screen and let you see your whole build on one screen?
It's all in one place. You can see it, you can read it.
I don't know if I missed something really good there. I need to look at those.
My team, and we said, we need to improve this experience. They came back with, well, what if we did a build management screen and let you see your whole build on one screen?
It's all in one place. You can see it, you can read it, you can learn. And that, coupled with our Guardian ranks, that's going to come in and basically be our first ever companion to every single player.
Guardian ranks is our answer to what should I be doing in Destiny if I want to get better? You have this track that tells you what you should be doing. We're really excited for players to start diving into that system, along with accommodations, a way to finally say thank you to players that you've been playing with. We think all of this stuff is coming together to bring this more cohesive relationship between our players. When we think about the future of Destiny, we think there's so much more to discover. We're just on the coast right now. We want to get into the heart of this continent.
We are walking to our 10-year anniversary of Destiny, and Destiny being such a core part of our players' lives. We just want to keep building Destiny.
We've been talking about this antagonist to the Traveler for so long. In Lightfall, we get to spend time with the Witness in a way that we haven't yet.
We're paying off storylines that have been coming together and been building for years.
More questions will certainly arise.
We have this finale with the final shape that's coming right after Lightfall, where we're closing down the Light and Darkness saga. But Destiny is far from over.
This universe is about more than the conflict between the Traveler and the Pyramids, and we want to show you new ways to explore it. We want to show you new things to discover in the universe, because we think that Destiny has a lot to offer, and Lightfall is the catalyst for that. It's high stakes, thrilling action, all at the same time, pushing the Destiny story to places it's never been
dude.
before.
This has got to be the start of the, like, this is how they start raids. They're not going to talk about it. This is like, when you start like any raid, this is exactly what it looks like. On Neomuna, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the raid's going to be. Could be something in Neomuna. Could be something in Callus's ship. No idea. I couldn't tell you. Yeah, I mean, I guess Val kind of started in the marshlands of Savathun's Throne World, and you kind of make your way into the pyramid ship, and then the rest of the raid just keeps going like deeper and deeper into the raid ship, which was so cool. But a Neomuna one, I'm like, that just makes sense that the new raid would be here, but this is all we get. That's funny. Well, that was quite a bit. I'm super stoked for that. I'm mega stoked. We don't have too long to wait. I feel like it's been a long wait. February's took forever to come here, and I'm super excited to get in to play that. I wish we could have saw more weapons, though. Unfortunately, I didn't really catch. I only saw a couple, and then there was some on the like weapons screen and some of the armor, but we'll wait to see that. Like, let me see here. Like the commendation thing's fun. This is pretty cool. I don't think it was necessarily needed. I think if it ties into the Guardian rank thing, that would be pretty dope. Like this looks like the seasonal outfit or the like expansion outfit kind of. This could all be new to me, but that actually doesn't look. That looks way different. I haven't seen that one or really this one. It's hard to tell, but I know that this is part of like the Rambo, 80s neo punk thing they got going on, which is like, I dig it, dude. It's pretty sick. But this kind of looks like raid. It could be in tiers here, right? No, this is 2 Titans. Well, this is Titans, Warlock, Hunter, right? It's hard to tell. But this looks like a pretty good showcase of what's coming up here, like new. But yeah, if the commemorations come into the Guardian rank system, that's pretty dope. Let me find like how that was looking. I wanted to just take one more peek at that before I end this. Is it too far back here? I'm done. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know why it just buffers looking like absolute dog shit too. But so anyway, with the Guardian ring system, that looks pretty cool because that's another one of those people who just start playing the game. They're like, what the hell am I supposed to do? That's a tough one, man. Like, what expansions do you got? Like, do you have Lightfall? Do you want stasis? Like, what's stasis? I'm like, God, I don't know, man. I don't want to sit here and explain it to you. You could always say just, do what it tells you to do the campaign. I don't think Destiny is that hard to figure out, but I've been playing Destiny since the beta from Destiny 1, and I stopped playing Destiny 2 like right when it came out because it was ass. But for like that year and a half, maybe I didn't play. I played consistently all through that time. So it wasn't too hard to figure out what you need to be doing. But if it gives people an incentive, that also means if you could see their Guardian rank, you should be able to see like when you do raid parties, which I think they didn't talk about it. I didn't hear it anyway about like the raid finder or raid LFG finder thing, because if you're looking up somebody or you're trying to get somebody for a raid group, you could see their Guardian rank and being like, if you didn't pass, like if you're not at like 6 or something, maybe you never done a raid. I think some of that's going to be able to tell you because they have challenges on there. I'm assuming one of them is going to be like a dungeon, a raid. So you should be able to figure out what somebody's done based off of that, which I think is great. I mean, like I've been in LFG groups where people like looked up my like, I can't remember what it is. They like, it's like Destiny Tracker. They've been like, oh, you haven't done that raid yet, but you've done all the other ones or something like that. And I've been like, yeah. But I'm like, invasion of privacy, dog. Like, I just wanted to do this. I said I knew what to do in the raid. Just let me do it. But it's still like a bit extra of knowledge that you just can just look at like natively in the game without having to search up somebody's name on like a website or something. So I guess that makes things a little bit easier. But all in all, yeah, super stoked. Can't wait to play. Hope to see you guys there. I will be making some videos on it when it comes out. Like, I mean, yeah, dude, I'm just gonna mess around with it and have a whole lot of fun. I feel like they're bringing a lot of like quality of life changes to the game that that Witch Queen didn't. And like, that's fine with me. I think Witch Queen was a good like stepping stone to get to where we are, because we needed the rework of all of those all of the subclasses. And I'm pretty sure last week in the TWAB, which they all start to blur together, but they did say they're adding in new fragments for the light subclasses. So Void should be getting, I think, maybe 1 or 2, or even 1 would be nice. But since they did the light subclass rework, and they like reworked how it all like is coded, probably of that spaghetti code that, you know, all this shit's just fucking duct taped together, do one wrong thing and it's all just fucked, dude. They just shut down the servers for a day or something. But if they can add in things like that, like easier, like they can plug and play a lot easier than they had to before, which I'm like, yeah, even better, because like I love my Void subclass. Like you know, if you throw me another bone in there, I can tweak around and mess with it more. Maybe make one of those like exotic armors I don't use very often a bit more viable. And the same could be said with any of the other subclasses. Darkness as well too, for like Light Strand or whatever. So yeah, this all, it's super exciting, man. I can't wait. I could pretty much just ramble on about this stuff forever, so I'll just cut it there, and then we'll go over all this stuff later. But thank you guys so much for joining or watching if you did. I can't help myself from uploading Destiny content. It's just I do love the game. I'm passionate about the game. I like seeing it grow and become something that is fun. It's fun to play, man. I do recommend it to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like it, but hey, man, different strokes for different folks. But if you do want to see more of this stuff, you could go ahead, drop a like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. In the meantime, I'll be playing other games. Oh, my headset died. It's because I went hard and darker and darker. Can't wait for that game to come out either. But anyway, have a good night, you guys.